let's go through what happened from the beginning of this whole RV repair journey.
Originally, the renters, they seemed to be giving us a really difficult time once they took the rental.
Yeah.
But eventually things quietened down and we didn't know what was going on.
Well, the first time when they took off with it, they made it seem to me like they were gonna be another Meredith. It was another Meredith situation, like especially the woman. She went all off about masks and everything like that. So they definitely seem like they're definitely the type who are going to cause problems. We've been through problem renters before, so we knew it's definitely gonna be them.
They rented the RV, and then after a while, after a few days, they brought the RV back at the end of their rental period, or rental time. But when they returned the RV, we noticed it had a significant dent on the driver's side, the back of it. It's a 32 feet long mini Winnebago Class C. So it took a dent to the side of it. You received them, so how did they react when they dropped it off?
They were so nice. It was a complete switch. Instead of having attitude with everything, immediately they were just like, they were so nice. They were telling us that they had a great trip, or telling me that they had a great trip and everything. We checked all the stuff that seemed like no issues. They even showed me photos of their trip. They were like, oh, look, we had so much fun. Anyway, then they're just like, we do have one issue. And then they showed me the thing in the back.
Oh, okay.
And
I get it now.
Yeah. So then it was like, oh, okay, I get why you guys are so nice all of a sudden. And I was just kind of like, you guys, it's fine. This is what insurance is for. And I was thinking that, because, you know, remember that one time or several times we used Outdoorsy, they paid for everything. But we used RV Share this time.
Okay, just to give you a context, to put some context to what we're talking about here. We're talking about renting your RV out on platforms like RV Share and Outdoorsy. These platforms allow private owners of RVs to rent out their RVs at certain specific, at their choice rate, the duration of rental of their choice as well. And in return for putting your property on their platform, they provide insurance coverage for damages up to $500,000 coverage. And I experienced with the RV insurance on these platforms so far has been, well, for Outdoorsy, we haven't had a problem, but for RV Share, which we just recently completed a claim.
Right, so back to the story.
Okay.
Compared to Outdoorsy, because in my mind I was thinking it would just be like how our Outdoorsy deals with this, and it would cover everything and that would be fine. So I was all friendly with them and I was like, you know what guys, it's fine, don't worry about it. This is what insurance is for. You'll just have to pay the deductible and we're keeping your deposit, basically is what it said. And they're okay with it. They left. It was a nice happy day. I came home, showed you everything. And then we immediately started to contact the insurance company to see how we're supposed to make the claim.
File a claim, right?
Right. So their procedures were a little bit different, but kind of the same. Similar to our Outdoorsy, but a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And they were not clear on a lot of things.
RV Share's
from the very
guidelines
beginning.
were not very clear.
Right. Their guidelines were not very clear. So anyway, in the beginning, she sent me a link where I'm supposed to upload a bunch of photos of the damaged area. So then I tried to do that, and the thing is, the link is very specific about like what angle you're supposed to get for whatever's, you know, for the damage.
So you're supposed to take photos of the damage.
Right, you're supposed to take photos of the damage. It was specifically giving me instructions to take photos of the outside, but it never allowed me to submit anything from the inside. So okay. I took, of course, all the outside photos, and then I sent them over, and then I contacted them and our agent that was working with us, and I was like, where do we send all the interior photos? And she was just like, we don't cover interior. It's only exterior damages, that's it.
Right, so while filing this claim with RV Share, we find out that the insurance that they go with, they don't cover internal damages, just external, which I think, which blows my mind, because if, the way the platform sells this is that the coverage is for all damages.
All damages that the renters can do.
But we're finding out that, while filing a claim, that they will only cover the external damages. So now it's put me in a situation where next time when we're renting out the RV on that platform, we're going to need to call the insurance company to clarify if there's a claim, all damages will be repaired.
In our case, we proceeded to go find a repair shop.
We're here at the repair shop and we're picking up the RV.
And we tried to get the repair shop to, contact the insurance company and tell them all the supplemental money that we're going to need after. Because of course the money that the insurance estimated was not going to cover the damages. It covered half, right? We tried to get the auto repair shop to contact the insurance company and show them everything that we need money for and to pay them. But the insurance company apparently refused. When we tried to contact the insurance company, what happened?
They don't answer their phones. These guys,
they don't answer
they're like
little, they don't answer emails.
What's that animal they're like little moles, huh? Just like
something like
trying
that.
To catch them, they just pop out from the next second. It becomes real difficult to get a hold of this insurance company. It's just I know I'm making light of it, but
and then at one point we even thought, well, maybe if we write them a terrible review. So we took their online survey, we wrote them horrible review. We got we thought that there would be like a manager contacting us to try to, discuss the situation, and nothing happened. Once they send you the check, they're 100% done with you. They do not contact you at all after that.
The first thing that we tried to do was to get our warranty to cover the damages.
Yes, we tried to see if the warranty would do it.
But
then what happened?
But it turns out that the warranty, first, this is a very sketchy warranty. The name of the warranty is RV Elite Plus. They refused to send me my contract with them. Turns out, well, when I call them, they refer me to the dealership where I bought the RV, and the dealership that I bought the RV refers me back to them. And when you're on the phone with the customer service representatives, there seems to be some disconnect between these people who answer the phones and the actual owners of the insurance company. Because whenever you ask the customer service rep on the phone for your contract that you have with them as your warranty, they're able to locate and verify your information, but then they can only send you a sample contract. And this
is the generic one that...
This is just a blank document.
Yeah, it doesn't have our name, policy number, nothing in it.
So I was able to get our policy number from one of the representatives, and I gave the policy number to the repair company because that was their requirement, that the repair shop needs to call them with the estimates. So the repair shop calls them, or so they tell us, that they call them, and just like we expected, the warranty company refused to cover the damages. So what we're finding when we're dealing with a lot of these insurance and warranty companies is that they're out to steal from people, essentially. When you make payments into an insurance company, you expect that when you file a claim, that within reason, it should cover it. That's what the warranty states that it does. But a lot of times you find out that they're buried in their legalese, those huge paragraphs of words that you have to sign off at the end that mostly no one reads. They bury in there all the different things that they won't cover, up until, as much as everything, they can just pretty much just circle around with their words and end up not being, exempting themselves from covering anything. So
we ended up getting it back.
We ended up paying out of pocket the difference because neither the insurance or the warranty company will cover the damages. The insurance company only covered partial portion of the invoice. and we had to pay the rest of it. Our portion of the payment that we had to come out of pocket was $1,500.
Yeah.
And $1,500 for, you know, for a business with a thin margin is significant. You know, we're charging that as a business expense, but it's still, you know, it hurts.
I mean, that's like 2 full rentals to make up for that.
Well, 1 rental depending on how long.
Yeah, you know, 1 rental depending on how long.
We've had 6-day rentals that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a week rental, then yeah, it would cover that. But one thing, okay, what did we learn at the end when we were looking at the invoice of all the work that was done?
Important.
Okay, the majority of the invoice was what?
All right, so the invoice from the repair shop, most of the fees of the total charges went towards labor in terms of hours. I'm talking about this specific.
How much was it per hour?
This specific shop, they charge $400 an hour, and I'm a healthcare professional. I don't make that kind of money, so it blows my mind. And this is the crazy part. You look down on the invoice, and most of it, the parts are not even more than $100.
Each individual part, most of the parts were very cheap, actually. Right. I saw like $20 part, like a $15 part. There were a couple $6 parts in there. So the parts that were actually needed for the repair were actually very, very cheap. It was the labor, that was it.
Right, the labor.
That's what cost so much.
So we got an idea that, you know, a better approach would be to look for a local repair guy, or maybe one of those mobile repair guys. Let the insurance company to make their appraisals, because usually they get their appraisals from the pictures that you send them. Yeah. You're required to send them pictures of the damages.
So they don't really even communicate that much with the repair shop anyway.
Right. They would, once they look at the damage, they have an appraiser that determines how much they will pay out.
And then they just send you a check like right away. Exactly. and then they quit talking to you.
They disappear.
They disappear. So our idea, which we think would benefit us more and would have benefited us more this time as well, is we were to just taken those checks and use that to pay like a mobile repair guy. And
who would charge less for
would charge way less, because usually they charge like $50 an hour, $60 an hour. That's reasonable. And then we can just pay the parts.
Most of the time the RV was parked at the shop. They were just waiting for the parts to arrive. We found out that RV parts, they take very long. I think they're only made in one state up north, North Dakota or South Dakota, one of those states. And that's where they ship out from, and you have to wait for so long. So most of the time that RV was sitting in the shop, they placed the order for the parts and they were just waiting. And when it arrived, then they charged $400 an hour to install them.
Lesson learned, right?
So order your own parts, figure out what parts are needed, order them. The insurance company is gonna send you a check, then you can use that check to pay some guy off of Yelp or, you know, Google, a mobile repair guy to fix it for you. Or you can take it to whatever shop you want. You know, shop around for repair shops.
And what you just need to be watching is what they charge for labor.
Yeah, their per hour charge for labor. So we're going to be making more of these videos in the future and sharing with you our journey through the process of renting our RV with Empathy RV. Please check us out on empathyrv.com, on our social media handles, Empathy RV, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're going to be bringing you as much content as we can and sharing you with knowledge. It's actually really profitable
to rent out your RV.
To rent your RVs on the platform. Over the summer, we made $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and that's significant addition to our income.
Definitely.
Just by renting out.
No, we made more than that actually. It was more like
$5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you're right.
Because we used both different platforms, and we were actually booked back to back. Some days, there were a few times where we actually had a return and a booking on the exact same day. So we only had like a couple hours to clean it up real quick and get handed out to the
Yeah, I remember
next.
that was fun when the turnover was very short time. It happened. I miss those days.
Yeah.
So it's also seasonal.
accurate.
So after you have these peaks and troughs in terms of the demand. Summer is peak season, and I think it picks up again should pick up again now.
I would assume, yeah, like for like the Christmas break and whatnot. I think it just follows, traditional school schedule.
We don't have control of the analytics on these platforms, so we can't tell whether we're getting a lot of hits and no conversions, or we're not getting any hits at all, or the type of traffic that's coming. So I would like to actually get all the bookings from our website, but the problem is that we haven't found a commercial insurance that can cover our rentals. Or we have, but it's such a pain in the ass and it's convoluted, the entire process. So, because we tried to get insurance last year, right?
Last year when we tried it, the process to getting the insurance was ridiculous. They wanted us to take a class, and then basically had to like write some essays answering certain questions about RV rental. Right. I don't know. It was bizarre what they were trying to make us do, but we had to jump through hoops
just to get insurance for
RV rental.
RV rental.
And then we just felt like, you know what? It's actually easier. Let's just go with whatever's on the platform.
Right. So on our website, as it is, empathyrv.com, when you click on book now, it'll provide you links to Outdoorsy and RV Share to book the RV. But I'm looking forward to one day in the future being able to get rid of the middleman, because we've got to get to a point where we can take 100% of our equity and build a community. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that we can rent out to the same people. That's my hope, that we can get to that point. But if we don't have control over the traffic and things like that, we don't have any equity in this. I think that it's whenever Outdoorsy or RV Share's algorithm picks up our listing, that's when we get attention.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even think it's seasonal, because if you imagine, there's a lot of traffic. People travel at different times during the year. You can't really peg it on school days or things like that, especially now with the pandemic. A lot of people are indoors anyway. Yeah. The kids are learning from their iPad, their tablets, and they can do that even in an RV. Yeah. So if you're trying to do this thing long term, RV rental long term, it'd be worth it to invest in your website, building out your own social media presence, and looking for insurance coverage, and actually get rid of the middleman. That's how you eventually build a community. We're not there yet, but my mind is there. We already have a website. It's got a Shopify component to a page where you can purchase travel gear and things like that. Eventually we will run ads for the site and try to get organic traffic by doing SEO work and digital marketing work. For now, you can book on RV Share or Outdoorsy to get it's a really nice RV. It handles well. It's 2016. The engine is maintained well. We change the oils regularly. Everything on the RV works well. You have a nice queen size bed in the. Is that a queen size bed?
Yeah, it's a queen size bed.
A nice queen size bed in the bedroom, bathroom, toilet, shower, dinette, kitchen area, living room area, and then there's the extra 2-person bed on the above the driver's cabin. So there's plenty of space. It's a 32-foot Class C mini Winnebago. And check it out.
I think you did a good job.
Okay, until next time, it's been a pleasure. Tune in to the Empathy RV show. Again, it's your favorite couple, Namdi,
Ashley.
See you next time.